And when I played against Jabberwocky in games with mono green, I just got caged and ran them over because, funnily enough, the trackers, the tireless trackers, the clues are artifacts with activated abilities, which Karn stops. Karn has secret text, which never comes up in modern, except when your opponent has tireless tracker. Because it disables all artifacts abilities, all enemy artifacts abilities. So tracker is just so bad. But yeah, that opening hand was bad. Didn't do anything. This hand's much better. We just go ahead and just like we go ahead and put Vivian on the bottom. It's what it looks like we might have turn 3 Nissa here. Like turn 1 Elvish Mystic, turn 2 Lawnmower Visionary, draw lands. Didn't get there, that's okay. We got Wolf of Haven. Yeah, I was pumped when Jabberwocky beat the Nat deck and the and Burn deck. I did not want to play against those. But we had 3 mana and an Oath of Nissa and the Lawnmower Visionary. I Oath of Nissa looking for a land. And I needed to go for, and if I bricked, I think if I bricked that I had Elvish Mystic, I think I did. Let me check. Yeah, if I bricked, I had Elvish Mystic, it was no big deal. But we ended up getting a land so he can play Visionary. Yeah, I played Oliver twice, once in Modern, one in Pioneer. No, what happened, my understanding is that he just played Sultai versus Burn twice and won twice because he has higher seed. I think it's an even matchup. If I'm on the play, I think Mono Green beats Burn. On the draw, it's pretty bad. The Gargoyles help a lot. If there's not much going on here, enemy plays a Jace, we bite it off. They thought seized away or Nissa, so we're kind of just here. And it's at this point that I count my mana and I'm like, okay, Nykthos. I can tap Nykthos for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 9 mana. So I use Wolf of Haven to activate Nykthos. That gives me 6. Then I have 3 mana creatures, 2 mana creatures in a forest. The Lawnmower Elf is free, so we just play that. It costs 1, it gives me 1 mana back from Nykthos. So that's the first thing we do. So we have 9 mana. And I have great confidence in my, like, basically, I could Voracious Hydra and bop off the Tireless Tracker. But I noticed that our opponent has a very conspicuous Swamp open. So I'm thinking, okay, Fatal Push. This is what I'm thinking. Like, okay, well, if I use all my mana, if I use 9 mana, if you use 9 mana and play a Voracious Hydra for 7 and they have a Fatal Push, it is lights out for me. It is not good. So then I look like, okay, well, this Tireless Tracker is actually only a 3/2. So I have 9 mana. I can just Voracious Hydra for 4, make it a 2/3, fight the tracker. If they have Fatal Push, that's fine. I can just play Gargaroth. If they don't have Fatal Push, that's still fine. I play Gargaroth, right? It's good for me either way. But I think a mistake a lot of people may have made is that they just like, oh yeah, Hydra for 7, let's go. But like, and I think the mistake my opponent may have made here is that they did not pay 2 life or Watery Grave. Because if they had done that, I couldn't make this play. I would have been forced to play. I would have been forced to play Gargaroth and just keep the Hydra in my hand. But because they gotta sack the clue to make their Tireless Tracker a 4/3. So I play my Hydra for 4. Their light total was under pressure. I mean, they were at 18, right? They were 18 out of 3-form play. Their light total was under pressure. So we drew Karn, which disables Tireless Tracker. We have Gargaroth. Well, we have to think here. How much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've got 13 mana. So, what are the options? So I bring up the sideboard. 13 mana. What do we do with 13 mana? Well, I don't want to just attack our Gargaroth because I think there's a very good chance enemy just double blocks it, right? And then they can flip Jace, and maybe we're not in a great spot. So just snap attacking a Gargaroth, not necessarily the right play. So what do we do? Got Pharaoh Statue, doesn't really do much. Great Henge, we have no creatures, doesn't really do much. We can get Verdurous Gearhulk. Well, that does something, because we can put a counter on Gargaroth, and put a counter on itself, and put a counter on our Voracious Hydra, and we can just swing out, right? And the cool part about that is enemy has a Heartless Act in their graveyard, which is 2 mana, remove 3 counters from a creature, or kill a creature that has no counters. So if I go for Verdurous Gearhulk, and I put a counter on all my creatures that do anything, then even if they flip the Jace, it doesn't matter. The alternative line is I could, because this is game 1, I could just Karn for Grafdigger's Cage and just play it. And their Jace flipping doesn't matter because they can't minus on a card because they can't play spells from the graveyard. And that also removes Uro from the equation. Like if I play Karn and I minus and I find Verdurous Gearhulk, they can just like play Uro from their hand and return it to play. And I'm not in a great spot. So that's kind of what's going through my mind. I have to decide between Karn for Grafdigger's Cage, Karn for Sky Sovereign, or Karn for Verdurous Gearhulk. The advantage of Karn for Sky Sovereign is I could do that, which is decent against Uro. It's not great, but if I attack first and the Tireless Tracker blocks, it has damage on it, and I can go get Sky Sovereign and use the 3 damage from Sky Sovereign's come into play ability to just knock off the Tireless Tracker. So that's just, I'm like, okay, so if I do that, I can just like swing out, get a bunch of damage through, pressure their light. I can make a 3/3 out of Gargaroth. So even if they Tireless Tracker trade with my Gargaroth, I got a 3/3 out left over. They take a bunch of damage. I have Sky Sovereign. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking even if they eat my Voracious Hydra, I'm mostly concerned about Uro. So we just get Grafdigger's Cage or Sky Sovereign. We get Sky Sovereign, that does it too. Kill Jace. We kill Jace and they can't flash back their Heartless Act. I think either play was fine. This play is probably better. Past me, you probably thought it through more. This is midnight for me. I'm really tired. I've been talking about playing Magic for like 15 hours now. But yeah, they end up getting Uro. See, in retrospect, I don't even remember what happened in this game, but like the me from now is like my autopilot's telling me I'm exhausted, and my autopilot's telling me, yeah, just go get Grafdigger's Cage, it's easy. So I don't know if it mattered that I got Sky Sovereign there instead, but oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, past me had it correct. Past me had it correct. Okay, so the reason why I went to Sky Sovereign is because I actually did the math. And I'm like, okay, I attack with these 3. If they don't block Gargaroth, they're actually just dead on board to Sky Sovereign. Because I can just go minus for Gargaroth. Even if they play Uro, their best play is Uro, rebuy Uro. Even if they make their best possible play, I get Verdurous Gearhulk. I I crew Sky Sovereign. I make it a 6/5. I play Virgil's Gearhulk. I put 4 counters on it. It's a 10 attack. They're at 11. And I have all these attackers. Right. No. I did the math. So if the announcers thought I was going to draw, I actually did do the math. So that's why I got Sky Sovereign, because I'm like, okay, their best possible play is Ura rebuy. I have that covered because I can minus a gig in Virgil's Gearhulk and I have lethal. Because I could have activated Wolf Willow Haven to make a 2/2 to crew the Sky Sovereign. Yeah. Man, past MJ was pretty good at the game. He actually went in the tank, came out with the right play. That was sick. Good job. Good job, previous me. So I end up just bringing in like 1 Tormod script just because it's like, it's always going to be good. It stops reverse, stops Uhura, which is like the only cards I actually lose to. It's actually really hard for them to refill the graveyard after the first one unless they keep on drawing State of Wayfinders. Obviously we mulligan that, obviously we mulligan this. We could keep this actually. This is enemy mulligans. So it's just like enemies probably gonna have a medium hands, and this is like Emissary into Visionary into like Hydra for 3 or draw Nistid or something. So this is fun. It's not great. I know enemy just boards in like has thought seizes, and they have board in disfigures, so like trying to mulligan to an elf is just not a great play. Could you have plus E Covenant? I needed to minus Karn to get the Virgil's Gearhulk. I was like, land. So I can cast my 4-mana Planeswalkers and my Elvish Mist Lower Elves. Gosh darn it. Didn't attack because it was obviously had the Dark Typhoon, so obvious. This. I've been here, I've done that. 4 mana, let's go. So I ended up playing Vivian plus both my dudes because I thought they had a second Shark Typhoon. I'm like, oh, well, this is bad. This is worse. Oh yeah, this is not good. As you might imagine, we do lose this one. So not much to say about it. I think enemy mulligan to 5 this game, and we just got blasted. So enemy mulligan to 5, they went like Thoughtseize into Arrow and just double Shark Typhoon for 3. Zeta Wayfinder, rebuy Arrow, just dead. We missed our 4th land drop, so we couldn't capitalize on our opponent stalling for a turn. Okay, thanks, March Chalice. So we ended up, I ended up just mulliganing this hand. This hand just does nothing. Obvious mulligan. Like, yeah, we have to keep this. Like, we just draw some lands, right? Draw some lands or elves. And pans out. Keep it. And I'm like, okay, Nykthos or Forest. I think if we keep the Nykthos, we can draw like land Emissary, have turn 3 Gargaroth. Could be good. And as you might imagine, we did not get there. So not much to say about this one. Obviously, I could have Tormod scripted the Euro. I'd already F6'd out of this match. I was just out of it. Like, I don't even care. I was already thinking about the next match. Yeah, this just doesn't matter. I'm just pretending it matters. It doesn't. This game was a mental F6. I just don't care. But I would have conceded already if it wasn't a feature match and it wasn't the finals. So I'm just like in Cube when I just got blasted every single game. I'm like, okay, the folks want me to be a punching bag. I'll be a punching bag. Obviously, I could have torn my script. It obviously doesn't matter. I'm sure their commentators were talking about how I could have done that. Clearly, it doesn't matter if I tore my script out or not. I'm not going anywhere. So I'm already out of this game. So